Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, November the 21st, 2025. It is about 3:30 a.m., and I want to bid you good morning. My name is Jason Flanagan. I'm a high school teacher for a private local Christian school, and I dedicate these early morning videos to students, parents, guardians, teachers, and administrators, all of us in the community of believers who are working together to help our children succeed in school and in life. And this morning, it's Friday. This is the last day of the school week because next week all of us are off to enjoy the week of Thanksgiving with our family, friends, and loved ones. And so I want to continue with looking at this important document by the U.S. Surgeon General called Parents Under Pressure. And I want to start with a few Bible verses this morning. The first one comes from Proverbs, the 13th chapter, beginning with verse 12. It says, Hope deferred make. Let me start again. Proverbs 13:12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Don't lose hope. And hope is having that expectation for what is promised. And the Bible gives us so many promises if we follow the word of the Lord. In verse 13 it says, Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. So the word of God yields rewards. Verse 14, the law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. And then Proverbs chapter 13, verse 15, good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. And so, students, parents, the road to life is hard as it is, and it's hard enough. But let's not make it harder through the choices that we make, and those choices when they're against the word of the Lord, against God's commands. And to give verification and validation to what I just said, I want to share with you Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you are what you think. So parents, think about your children, what they're exposed to, who or what is influencing them. And so without going more into that, let me bring up what I want to share with you from the U.S. Surgeon General's report on parents under pressure. And he talks about all the players in this. First, he introduces the document talking about parents and caregivers. And who are these people? Well, they're the traditional mom and dad. But a caregiver is any individual who provides caretaking for children under the age of 18. Our children who are at home under our roofs, who eat at our tables, who sleeps in their bedrooms, and who we interact with on a daily basis. And parents, we send our children to schools and we put them under the care of teachers. So we work together as a team in partnership in raising our children up to be accountable and responsible. So others who provide that very important care are biological parents. In this day and time, step parents, even adoptive parents, kinship, and today we see many grandparents who are legal custodians of their grandchildren for different issues related to the children's parents and so forth. But there's all kinds of caregivers. The second class of people that we're talking about in this report and who we deal with on a daily basis is our children, those 18 years and younger. They're the ones that live under our roofs. Our children are the ones we love, and we want them to have a good education. But like our school, we want them to know Jesus first and to know their place in life through Him. And all of us we should adopt that mission for our children, to help our children know Jesus. So if there's more word, then there can be less world. Well, now that we know the players in this game of life, what is it that challenges our way of life? Well, it's stress. And according to this report, and I quote, this is about stress, a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation, unquote. And let me tell you, life is hard enough. We have many difficult situations. Some of those stresses can be internal, such as unrealistic expectations and self-doubt. And where do you think our children get those unrealistic expectations? Well, one of the primary sources is their smart devices, the videos they watch, the other kids who are making videos, entertainers, performers, singers, music makers, social media, all of these influences out there. And some of them are pushing your children towards unrealistic expectations, and because they cannot keep up, it creates self-doubt. But there's also external stresses as well. Now, parents, this is mainly for you. The pressures you experience at work, the financial pressures you experience each month because of the rising cost of living, family problems, and of course, how all of these issues impact mental health conditions. And the biggest challenge of it all is that all of these stresses, whether internal or external, it makes it difficult for us to cope with the rising amount of stress that we face each and every day in the classroom, yes, but also at home and in our community. And then the other thing that this U.S. report is going to deal with, of course, are mental health conditions, those diagnosable disorders that impact how we think, that impacts our mood and our behaviors. So what do our children face? Well, a lot of them face depression, anxiety, trauma at home, and sometimes the trauma that's brought to school. Personality disorders, schizophrenia spectrums, but what we also call mental health challenges. The signs and symptoms are not enough for an official diagnosis, but the behaviors are starting to show those signs and symptoms. And so parents, teachers, all of us, we must work together to see when our children are in trouble, are in distress, and to be there to help, to be there to intervene. And so these are the times where we've got to think about IEPs and 504 plans. What do our children need to succeed academically? What do they need to succeed behaviorally? And what we must all do in this community to help our children succeed. So listen, if you have questions, send them to the email address that I have in the description. Please subscribe, like, and share if you would, please. So listen, everyone, enjoy your week off from school. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving break with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. I may have just a special video message on Thanksgiving morning, but we're all going to take a week off to enjoy time, to refresh, to think about what we can do better when we come back together after this week off. And so thank you for watching. God bless you. I love you. And this has been an Uncommon Biblical Truths Early Morning.